So, Aliyah Boston just signed the biggest contract in WNBA history. And yeah, she has signed for 4 years, $6.3 million. An entire $1.3 million more than AJ Wilson's contract. Although, she's going to be paid the exact same amount every single year as AJ Wilson. She is taking the supermax for the next 3 seasons. That is a scary one for the Indiana Fever. I'm going to be completely real here. It's going to be extremely difficult for the Indiana Fever to win a title with Aliyah Boston. But go get that money. Go get that money. I can't say Aliyah hasn't earned it. I can't say she hasn't earned a supermax.
Aliyah Boston just shattered WNBA contract records. $6.3 million over 4 years. An astounding $1.3 million more than A'ja Wilson's deal. On the surface, it's a monumental win for player empowerment. But dig deeper. This isn't just a record-breaking contract. It's a potential financial trap for the Indiana Fever. This move, celebrated as a triumph, could actually cripple their championship aspirations before they even begin. The harsh reality? The Fever face an uphill battle to win a title with Aliyah Boston on this deal. While Aliyah absolutely earned her supermax, the strategic implications for the franchise are dire. This isn't just about paying a star. It's about the impossible puzzle it creates for team building, especially for a franchise that has consistently struggled with fundamental roster construction. This isn't a simple celebration. This is a strategic chess move that could backfire spectacularly. The WNBA operates under a brutal salary cap. Unlike other major leagues, the margins are razor thin. Every dollar is a strategic sacrifice. For Aliyah Boston to sign a supermax deal, it immediately sends shockwaves through the entire roster. It dictates who stays, who goes, and crucially, what kind of talent can surround her. This isn't just about Aliyah's talent, it's about the leverage. The Indiana Fever, desperate to secure their foundational piece, paid a premium, but that premium comes at an astronomical cost. We're talking about a ripple effect that touches every other player on the team, from seasoned veterans to promising rookies. The Supermax isn't just a reward, it's a commitment that demands perfection from every other roster decision. It forces a franchise to operate with an efficiency and scouting prowess that, frankly, the Indiana Fever have not historically demonstrated. The expectation now isn't just for Aliyah to be good, it's for her to carry the weight of an entire organization's financial constraints. This isn't just about individual brilliance, it's about collective strategy, and the Fever's path just became exponentially harder.
Situation now with Aliyah is there is a standard that Aliyah's got to be at. Like, Aliyah's got to be perennial all WNBA. I think she's got to be. I think she got better this offseason, and I don't see that being any sort of an issue. She's got to be she's got to be an MVP candidate, a perennial MVP candidate. And yeah, you can see why they're not going to be able to afford Kelsey Mitchell. Assuming, even if Caitlyn takes a pay cut, Caitlyn will have to probably take the minimum.
The pressure on Aliyah Boston is now immense. With this contract, she is no longer just a star. She is expected to be a perennial MVP candidate. Anything less will be seen as an underperformance relative to her salary. This contract isn't just about securing talent, it's about setting an impossible standard for one player to achieve within a deeply constrained system. And the first casualty? Kelsey Mitchell, a vital scorer, a proven threat. Her departure isn't an option, it's an economic inevitability. The Supermax forces difficult choices. It means sacrificing established talent, making room for the core. Even the league's most anticipated rookie, Caitlyn Clark, will likely face an uncomfortable reality, a pay cut, potentially even the minimum salary. This isn't a fantasy league. This is brutal economics. The Fever's path to contention just got narrower, more brutal, and dependent on a level of individual dominance that few players in WNBA history have ever sustained. Consider the gravity of these financial choices. The WNBA salary cap structure makes it a league of hard decisions. There are no easy answers, no endless well of cash to draw from. A Supermax deal, while deserved by a player of Aliyah Boston's caliber, fundamentally alters the entire team's DNA. It shifts the burden. It demands a flawless supporting cast built on minimum contracts and diamond-in-the-rough discoveries. This isn't just about Aliyah's talent, it's about the talent she can't have around her. Every additional high earner becomes a strategic liability. The Fever are now operating with almost zero margin for error. One bad draft pick, one missed free agent, one injury to a key minimum player, and the entire house of cards collapses. This isn't just about individual contracts. It's about the collective future of the franchise. It's a high-stakes gamble, placing all chips on two players in a team sport under a system designed to encourage parity through financial limitation. The question isn't just can Aaliyah deliver, it's can the Fever build around her with almost no resources. The answer, historically, suggests a grim outlook.
The likelihood is that Aaliyah, Lexi, and Monique Billings are going to be making $3 million of the salary cap next year, combined. Let's say the salary raises by $1 million. Those three players are still going to take up a solid close to 40% of the salary cap. Like, it's not an ideal situation at all. And when you've got two role players and albeit a star.
Let's talk numbers. The cold, hard truth of the salary cap. Aliyah, Lexi Hull, and Money Williams are projected to eat up a staggering $3 million of the salary cap next year. Even if the cap increases, these three players alone will consume nearly 40% of the team's entire budget. Think about that for a second. Three players. One is a bona fide star, arguably a superstar. The other two are role players, and they are collectively consuming almost half of the available funds. This isn't just not ideal. This is a catastrophic misallocation of resources. It leaves virtually nothing for proven depth, for veteran leadership, for the critical pieces that transform a good team into a championship contender. You can't win with just two stars and a prayer. You need a full roster. You need quality. The Fever just locked themselves into a situation where acquiring that quality is almost impossible. This isn't an investment, it's a constraint. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the other half of this viral equation. Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA's biggest draw, a generational talent who commands unprecedented attention. What happens when her contract comes up? The script is already written. With Aaliyah Boston taking a supermax, Caitlyn Clark faces an unenviable choice. Take a significant pay cut, potentially even the minimum, to try and keep some semblance of a team around them. Or demand her market value and force the Fever into an even deeper financial abyss. The implications are staggering. If Caitlyn takes a supermax, nearly 70% of the salary cap will be consumed by two players. Two players, no matter how great, cannot win a WNBA championship alone. The league's history proves it. The current landscape, dominated by super teams built with careful financial planning, reinforces it. The Fever's gamble on Aaliyah's supermax doesn't just impact today, it dictates the future of their entire superstar project. It paints a stark picture for Caitlyn Clark, the ultimate price of joining a franchise trapped by its own financial decisions.
It is Caitlyn and Aaliyah, and I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like, I don't think that's going to be enough to win a title. I really don't think Caitlyn Clark and Aliyah Boston is going to be enough to win a title. And now you've got a situation where you're not really going to be able to get much depth. Like, Caitlyn's going to have to take a pay cut, and the following year, they're not going to be able to afford Lexi Hull.
This is the stark reality. Aliyah Boston and Caitlyn Clark alone will not be enough to win a WNBA title. The league demands depth, versatility, and experience. With these supermax contracts looming, the Fever simply won't have the resources to build that supporting cast. Caitlyn Clark, the player who sells out arenas, will likely have to take a pay cut just to keep the team functional. And even then, vital pieces like Lexi Hull will be sacrificed. This isn't just speculation, it's the inevitable outcome of WNBA salary cap mechanics. The Fever are heading towards a future where their two biggest stars are surrounded by minimum contract players. This isn't a recipe for success, it's a formula for mediocrity. Despite the individual brilliance on display, the excitement of a superstar duo is quickly overshadowed by the chilling implications for team construction. This is a championship quest crippled by its own ambition. The term unserious franchise is harsh, but it's a label that becomes increasingly difficult to dispute when looking at the Indiana Fever's recent history. Successful WNBA teams don't just draft stars, they excel at the margins. They find hidden gems overseas. They develop late-round picks. They sign undervalued veterans. The Fever, unfortunately, have not demonstrated this crucial competence. The anecdote about drafting Raven Johnson because a scout liked how South Carolina practiced is damning. It reveals a fundamental lack of sophisticated scouting, analytics, and strategic planning. You cannot compete at the highest level of professional basketball, especially under a restrictive salary cap, with such a haphazard approach. A supermax contract demands a world-class front office to maximize every single penny. It demands precision. It demands foresight. The Fever, by this account, are operating with a blunt instrument in a surgeon's world. This isn't a knock on the players. It's a critical indictment of the organizational structure that is now tasked with making this record-breaking contract work. An unserious franchise cannot win a championship, regardless of the talent it manages to acquire.
Like the Fever are not running back the big three next year. They're not going to be it's going to be Caitlyn, Aliyah, and friends. And by friends, I mean minimums. Because I would be shocked if Caitlyn doesn't sign the Supermax. Like, at this stage, if Aliyah's taking the Supermax, I would say Caitlyn's taking the Supermax. And not only that, even taking the regular max, that's the two of them combined for 37% of the salary cap. In a city where people are not going to be taking pay cuts. It becomes really, really difficult to put together a championship team. But at the same time, look,
the future of the Indiana Fever is now clear. It will be Caitlyn, Aliyah, and friends. And by friends, we mean players on minimum contracts. There will be no big three next year, no formidable supporting cast. The numbers don't lie. If Caitlyn Clark inevitably signs a supermax, and why wouldn't she after seeing Aliyah's deal, then these two players alone will consume approximately 37% of the salary cap. In a city where other players aren't expected to take pay cuts, this creates an almost insurmountable obstacle. Building a championship team becomes really, really difficult. This isn't about being ungrateful for the money Aliyah received, it's about recognizing the impossible situation it creates for the franchise. The dream of a championship in Indiana with this core might already be slipping away, trapped by the very contracts designed to secure their future. Let's be unequivocally clear. Aaliyah Boston earned every single penny of her Supermax contract. Any player presented with such an opportunity should absolutely seize it. Leaving millions of dollars on the table is not a reasonable expectation. This isn't Aaliyah's fault. This isn't a criticism of her ambition or her talent. This is a critique of the franchise's strategy. They chose to pay the premium, and now they must face the consequences. While individual players thrive, the team's ecosystem struggles. It's a classic WNBA paradox. A player's deserved salary often creates an impossible puzzle for their team. Contending teams like the Aces and Liberty have demonstrated a ruthless efficiency in roster construction, finding value, and making tough decisions. The Fever, by contrast, appear to be making reactive rather than proactive moves. The Supermax is a huge win for Aliyah, but for the Indiana Fever, it may be a Pyrrhic victory, one that ensures individual stardom at the expense of collective glory. The responsibility now lies squarely with the front office to navigate this treacherous financial landscape, a task they've consistently struggled with.
like, I think we can be real here. The Indiana Fever just aren't. They're not a team that's good on the margins. They're not a team that scouts well. The rumor has it they drafted Raven Johnson because they sent a scout to watch South Carolina practice. And the scout was like, oh my God, this is like, they practice like pros practice. She's going to be ready right away. So like no actual, like no analytics, no, like the other way teams have like drafting and scouting models and trying to find things. Basically they drafted her because she went to South Carolina. Like, it is as simple as that. They drafted Raven Johnson because she went to South Carolina. So, like, this is an unserious front office scouting-wise. And I don't think you can win with a player making a Supermax if you're an unserious franchise.
This is the core of the problem. The Indiana Fever are not a team built on meticulous scouting or strategic advantage. The unserious franchise label hits hardest when you consider their player acquisition philosophy. The rumored reason for drafting Raven Johnson, because a scout liked how South Carolina practiced, is not a scouting model. It's an alarming testament to a lack of analytical rigor. In a league where every roster spot, every minimum contract is vital, operating without a sophisticated scouting and drafting strategy is organizational malpractice. You cannot win a championship if you're not good on the margins. You cannot contend with a Supermax player if your front office is unserious scouting-wise. This isn't about blaming Aliyah for taking her money. It's about exposing the systemic flaws within the organization that make her record-breaking contract a potential burden rather than a guaranteed pathway to success. This isn't just bad luck, it's a strategic deficiency. So, what's the ultimate outcome of this high-stakes gamble? The trajectory is clear. The Indiana Fever are now trapped. They've invested heavily in two generational talents, but at the cost of crippling their ability to build a championship-caliber team around them. The WNBA is a league of cycles. Dynasties are built not just on talent, but on sustained, shrewd management. The Fever, with their unserious approach to scouting and their limited financial flexibility, appear ill-equipped to navigate these challenges. The narrative is set. The questions about Caitlyn Clark's future are not if she signs a supermax, but when and what catastrophic consequences that will have for the roster. This isn't just about the next few seasons. This is about the long-term viability of the Fever as a contender. The dream of a championship fueled by unprecedented individual contracts might ironically be dead before it truly begins. The stage is set for a dramatic, perhaps inevitable exodus of talent from Indiana.
I can't see Caitlyn Clark leaving money on the table at this stage. I could see, my prediction is that Caitlyn's probably going to sign a 3-year. I reckon she's probably going to go and sign for the 3 years, so that they lose as soon as the 3 years signed, the Fever lose team control. Then I could see her walking. My guess is that Caitlyn and Aaliyah are going to play out whatever contract is at the same time, and if it's not working out, they're going to walk. I don't see either of these two playing past 28 years old for the Indiana Fever.
The final, devastating prediction. The inevitable conclusion to this strategic blunder. Caitlyn Clark will not leave money on the table. She will likely sign a 3-year deal, regaining control of her destiny as soon as possible. And then she will walk. The same fate awaits Aliyah Boston. By the age of 28, it is highly probable that both Aliyah Boston and Caitlyn Clark will no longer be playing for the Indiana Fever. This is not a slight against them. It's a harsh indictment of the situation the franchise has created. They will play out their contracts, and if championship success isn't achieved, which, given the constraints, seems highly likely, they will seek greener pastures. The supermax, designed to lock in talent, will instead become the catalyst for their departure. This is the tragic paradox of the Indiana Fever's monumental investment. The biggest contract in WNBA history for Aliyah Boston might just lead to the biggest star exodus in the league's future.